All your base art belong to us.
You're listening to Gamers Digest, a podcast where your hosts put the controllers down just long enough to talk about gaming news, rumors, and anything else they can think of. Here are your hosts, Spider-One and Mr. Factastic.
Okay, now look at that.
Oh,
Now they can hear us and see us.
Awesome.
I'm getting this whole thing down.
Nice.
After 71 episodes, you think I'd
Yeah,
have...
this is
We keep changing our configuration. Like, I miss the green screen. Like, I wish we could get the green screen
we
back.
got that door.
Yeah, the doorway to your imagination.
There you go.
We are Gamers Digest. We took last week off because it was after the holiday and we were still recovering.
Mhm.
You went out of town.
Yep.
And we had basically family over every day of the week since Thursday on to Sunday.
Yeah.
So, and then Sunday we went somewhere. So we were pretty busy and exhausted. So we needed
There wasn't
to
a
rest.
whole lot of news anyway, was there? I mean, the system had just dropped, the PS4 and the Xbox One, so, there's not much else that's going on besides whether you got one or not.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest news was that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to think of something else, and I'm like, man, I really can't think of anything else. There really is nothing else.
It's like just about everything's out that needs to be bought for the Christmas holiday, so...
Right.
you
So,
know.
well, over these 2 weeks, what have you played? I know one of them because
Starbound.
Yeah, there you go.
Starbound. We played some Starbound last week, and FTL. I'm actually installing GTA 5 right now. Not sure if I'll play any tonight but maybe later in the week I'll finally fire it up.
that's a long install.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I got like halfway through it and I accidentally knocked my controller off. You might have heard me.
Yeah.
And then it had to restart.
Oh,
So yeah.
that sucks. Yeah, it's a long install, but once everything's set up, the game runs really well. So,
Cool.
and you got it for 360.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
I guess I should point that out. Yeah, we played Starbound. It's in beta. We're actually going to have the first episode. I'm shooting for that to come out Friday, and the release date's to be Friday. But that may change just because it is beta, and we played for about an hour, a little over an hour, and we've already had our characters wiped. So
that's true, yeah. They have.
we may change the times based on patches, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like they put out a big patch last night, wiped our characters, and then today they just put out a patch as we were starting the show.
Like a couple minutes before the show started.
That one wasn't a character wipe. I did play today a little bit because of the snow. I was able to work from home, and I got to a point where I got us pretty much all the gear we had. Maybe a little less in some areas, a little more in other. So we could pretty much just pick up right where we left off.
That's
and
cool.
explore and stuff like that. So I did Starbound 2, StarCraft 2. I played Dota 2 with one of my coworkers. That's the big League of Legends MOBA type game where all the tournaments are. And I'm not very good at it, so I'm not that into the game yet. But one thing that blew me away is you can watch other games real time. So, he was playing a game last night, and I was watching him play while, I was doing the normal house stuff. And it was cool that I could be like, oh, so that's how he does this, or, because he's played a lot.
So you can actually watch and learn.
Yeah, like as he's playing, if it says, so-and-so friend is in Dota 2, you can right-click on his name and go to watch game, and you can just watch it right there. So,
and when you watch, you only watch from his perspective?
You can watch the whole game if you want.
Okay.
I only watch it from his perspective just because I did want to see how he played and what he does. And his team did win, so I guess he kind of knows what he's doing because
cool.
he ended up with the best kill-death ratio, the best XP a minute, gold a minute. Basically everything that they track in the game, he was top on.
Wow.
So, yeah, and after the game, I was talking to him, and he kind of explained why that happened. He says, it doesn't always work out that way, but he said the other team, a couple of their players were kind of bad. So instead of harassing him, they kind of let him do his own thing, And the problem is, as the game goes on, he just gets so much more powerful
Okay.
that he basically just overpowers them to a point. So that was pretty cool. I also finished Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which will actually be my review today.
That's cool. That's the one that they keep showing the commercials for.
Yeah, like every other commercial is that game.
Yeah.
It's really good, but I'll save it for my review. But we do have some news. I mean,
Yeah.
over the past 2 weeks, there wasn't a lot of news, but then the Video Game Awards were this week.
Mm-hmm.
If you've watched it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard they were bad.
Yeah, there's actually a YouTube clip, and I was going to play it at the beginning of the show, but I didn't feel like losing what viewers we had.
Okay.
So, there's like they call it like the cringe cut, where it's just like all the jokes that just are horrible. And the problem is it's like 15 minutes long. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. Like the host, Joel McHale, who actually is kind of funny, I guess people didn't understand like his type of humor. So being like a sarcastic douchebag didn't come off very well.
Oh, that's just great.
There were a couple of moments like Matt Stone and Trey Parker played off of him really well, but they're pretty funny guys.
Yeah.
There was another one too. I can't think of who it was that actually did pretty well with him. It was somebody. I think it was a voice actor.
Okay.
Man, name's blanking on me, but they were pretty funny. Last of Us took home a lot of awards.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 5 took home a lot of awards. So did Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed took home a couple of awards.
Black Flag?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've actually, I actually got Black Flag. Black Flag for free. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. That was unintentional. But I got the newest Assassin's Creed game for free when I bought a new piece of hardware for my computer.
That's cool.
and that's not what I use my computer to look at.
Okay.
But yeah, so I should try that. Anyway. Alright, the show's over. We're just you can
So on to the news.
you can do the show on your own. I'm going to bed.
So as far like Battlefield 4 has had some bugs. You've been playing that for a while. Have you seen a lot of these bugs?
I actually have. Like there are
Sorry.
There are a lot of bugs in it. Like this show has been derailed completely.
Okay, I'm good now.
How about that Dallas loss last night? That was
Pretty
brutal.
bad, yeah. They scored on like every drive.
Yeah.
Bears
that was rough.
Bears
okay,
suck.
that brought me down enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Battlefield 4 got a PC update. There's a lot of bugs. Yes, I have noticed them. Actually, one map would always crash my game. So at the end of that map, my game would crash every time.
Wow.
So no matter what server I played on, game mode, anything, it was that one map. And people were reporting that this happened multiple times through multiple maps, different instances, different computers. And they actually, I played it since the update, and it does feel a little better. The other thing it fixed was frame rate issues, which I never noticed, but they said some NVIDIA cards and some AMD cards really would notice it. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, so they had that update, and what I like is, like, there's another story we have that they halted all other production to, like, fix Battlefield 4.
Yeah, they basically said no more expansion packs are coming out. China Rising did come out for premium members. It'll come out next week for regular, to buy. And they basically said, that one was already way into production by the time we launched Battlefield 4. But now that we've launched it and we see there's all these problems, because like Xbox One and PlayStation 4 users are reporting crashes and stuff like that, which is, pretty rare for console games to have that kind of problem. PC, they kind of patch that a little more aggressively. because they have more to fix.
Yeah.
Because it's not running on one standard set of hardware.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's cool that they stopped all of their DLC things just to fix this game because it needed it. I mean, I run on a pretty decent gaming computer. It's not. I wouldn't say it's top of the line, but it's like mid upper.
Okay. Above average.
Right. And like story of my life. Barely above average. But yeah, I mean, I was having all kinds of problems and stuff, and I'm kind of like, man, why am I having these issues? I had to go to like a beta driver for a video card, a beta driver for a sound card, stuff like that, and that shouldn't be the case. And then multiplayer, there was just nothing you could do. So it looks like they're on the right track.
That's cool.
And I really enjoyed Battlefield 4. Like, a lot of people have kind of, been like, it's not as good as 3 and stuff like that. And I think
you gotta let it.
Yeah, I think they're a little skewed because they've been playing 3 for so long. 3 didn't start out that good either.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't play 3 at the beginning, but I went back and, did some digging, and there was the same posts. Like, the net code's crap, I shoot this guy like 20 times and he doesn't die. Which is typically what I say when I die, even though I never shoot him.
It took 3 a while before it just got really awesome.
Yeah, and I think rather than pumping out expansions and fixing them with the expansions, I think fixing it first and then pumping out the expansions is only going to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
So there was another little piece of Battlefield news that Battlefield may become a yearly title, but it'll do what Call of Duty does in Switch developers. So you may see Bad Company come back.
Yeah, that would be cool. I did. Me and a lot of my coworkers miss Bad Company. We always go back like, man, whatever happened to Bad Company?
Even though that was made by DICE, they kind of pointed to that and say, we'll do like the numbered Battlefield, and then we'll do like Bad Company, or we'll do Battlefield Vietnam,
some type of offshoot. Yeah.
Right. So that'll be pretty cool. The other big news to come out of the Video Game Awards was basically all Telltale.
Yeah, they're like taking over the gaming world now.
I know they have like one major hit, and then people are like throwing money at them to make games. They confirmed the Game of Thrones game. We talked about the rumor last time we had a show that they were kind of inkling like we might have this license, but we can't really say anything.
Yeah.
They confirmed it. They said it's going to be based on the show rather than the books. And that's all they gave us.
And it's supposed to span like along with the show.
Yeah, and they said it's like multiple year contract. So expect to see multiple seasons from this one, just like Walking Dead. Which Walking Dead comes out next week.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Season 2, episode 1
is tentative for next week, the 18th. So that'll be pretty cool.
That's like an early Christmas present from Telltale Games.
Yeah, we'll have to do the game night.
Yeah, family game night.
So that'll be pretty cool.
Definitely.
More
Telltale news.
Yeah, the last one.
The Borderlands. The trailer looked a little pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the art style for Borderlands fits so well with Telltale. And this is cool because like nobody expected it. Nobody saw this coming.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
Yeah. So you take a game that's run and gun, shooter, RPG, and then like boom, point and click adventure. So I think it could be pretty cool because I personally like a lot of the Borderlands characters. They're really well written characters, even though they're all kind of crazy.
Yeah, but they are from when I played. Yeah. Which
Borderlands 2, if you haven't played it and you own a PlayStation, is free on PlayStation Plus this month.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean. We were talking about it versus like Microsoft, and Borderlands 2 isn't a new game. It came out last year. It's had a year's worth of DLC and then some, but still for free.
Yeah, it's not 6 years old.
Right, and it's a AAA game that won Game of the Year award, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. I didn't even know that there was a new Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, this is the Nintendo's big announcement at the Video Game Awards.
That's like amazing. Cranky Kong is going to be a playable character in the new Donkey Kong game.
I gotta give Nintendo its time, but man, like if it's not 3DS related, they really don't try.
Yeah,
like I loved the Donkey Kong Country games, but really, Cranky Kong is your announcement? It would have been cooler if they would have been like, Cranky Kong's the next guy in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, something like that.
At least a game people care about.
I don't know.
Direct Twitch TV streaming is coming to Minecraft. Actually, it's in Minecraft now. I updated mine and
Oh, cool.
it's there. So you press a button. Well, you set up your account, and then you press a button,
And you're
and
instantly streaming.
you're streaming right to where we are. So I really like this from like our standpoint. This is really nice
Mm-hmm.
because we use XSplit, which is good for like the show, but it's kind of wonky for some games. So like I had to do some stuff to get it to work well with Starbound. Like I have to play it in like super windowed mode in this area with this setting. So and other games have been like that as well.
Okay.
So
Yeah, Minecraft's really fun to watch. You know, I like watching some Let's Plays of Minecraft a while back, and you know they're just fun, and to be able to do this like on the fly, just makes it easier for people to put that content out.
I mean, Minecraft is what a lot of major YouTube channels got popular with, like Yogcast, stuff like that. So Minecraft, I think, really is a good place to. It's a good canvas to display the caster in their entirety. Like you get to see like how entertaining they really can be because there's no narrative that they can fall back on. They can't be like making jokes behind like Commander Shepard's bad jokes and stuff like that. It's you're a blocky dude in a blocky world and you got to build blocky things.
Yep.
So be funny with it. That's why I don't stream Minecraft, because I'm not that funny.
Final Fantasy VIII is out on Steam now.
Yeah. So
this story made me sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's no disc to break.
That's true.
So you should maybe for Christmas the Gamers Digest Steam account will end up with Final Fantasy VIII.
This made me like I'm looking forward. One of these stories in here is like I can't wait until I get my Steam machine.
Yeah.
I think it's the last story we got on here.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that one.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Destiny finally has a release date, but don't count on it anytime soon.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by this. I thought it was coming out, like, summer. Well, it's still summer, but it's slated for September 9th, 2014, which is, like, a ways off.
That's a long way away.
Yeah, I thought it was coming out like March or something, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's beta. I guess they'll do beta for a while and stuff like that. Destiny's the one game I'm disappointed in because it's not coming to PC.
Yeah, it seems like they dropped the ball with that. I wonder why.
I think it's Bungie. I think Bungie doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't like to develop on PC. So
maybe they don't want to deal with all the patches and everything.
Right.
As much as like PC would need. I don't know.
Let's see. Actually, I thought this one was interesting, and the one line really doesn't do it justice. But PlayStation 4 has, the last time they put out their numbers, which was about a week ago, said that they've sold 2.1 million units worldwide. A day later, Microsoft comes out and says, well, this is how many zombies have been killed in Dead Rising, and this is how many hours have been logged in Forza, and blah, blah, blah. But they never said how many units are sold. So that's not a good indication of Microsoft doing well. Now, I don't think they're doing badly, but I definitely think they're losing the race.
Yeah. They did come out a week later, and their console was more expensive.
Right. And Microsoft's not doing it. They're having the same problem as they did last time. They're not doing a good job of making the Kinect worth that extra $100. Sure, the gesture controls and the voice commands are nice, but if you don't really care, then save $100 and get a PlayStation.
Yeah. Now you said you've been to the stores and you've seen an Xbox One.
Yeah. Black Friday.
Black Friday.
I haven't seen them since, but they were in stock on Amazon yesterday. So let's see.
Yeah, the few people that I know that have, kids and stuff, they told me that they got them PS4.
Right. I mean, everybody I've talked to has basically gone the PS4 route, and of course, Amazon's not working.
It's It's
There
in
we go.
control of its own destiny.
Yep.
It's got to load. I told you I was going to factor that in somehow.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon is definitely in control of its destiny, and it needs to hurry up. 'Cause I don't know what it is. It's got to just be Amazon, because, I mean, we're still streaming fine.
Amazon, a lot of people are shopping for. They're looking for those PS4s. Maybe, you know.
Yeah, they really want that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what's going on. Like, Amazon had Xbox Ones in stock as of yesterday. I'm sure they're gone now. Because, I mean, they're still popular.
Yeah, they're still popular, and they might not want to compare their numbers to PS4's numbers, but I imagine if they haven't sold 2.1 million, maybe they sold like 1.8 or something. You know
Right.
what I mean?
I'm sure they're behind by a smaller margin
Yeah.
than, what we're making it out
They
to
just
be.
don't. They just don't want to.
We know they've sold at least 1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's got to be in between 1 and 2.1.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Not too bad.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Microsoft, they're also advising you to not turn your Xbox One into dev mode.
Yeah, this is actually something that started on 4chan, and it's a graphic that somebody made up and people believed. Basically, it gave you the steps to put your machine into dev mode, and it says, if you want your Xbox One to have backwards compatibility, follow these steps. And the problem is, like, once you get into dev mode, you need a developer key, otherwise it just keeps cycle powering. So basically, you break the Xbox, there's nothing you can do about it. You've got to send it back. And
Wow.
yeah, so that really sucks.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, that sucks.
it was a joke that started on.
Some troll.
Yep. Yeah, so it looks like they're sold out again on Amazon because it finally came up.
So there you go.
Yeah, 4chan strikes again. But if you see this, it looks legit. Like, it looks like a Microsoft thing, but don't do it. So
Don't listen. It's not backwards compatible.
Now, Xbox One has 2.1 million viewers. Users.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation has 2.1.
Yeah.
Xbox has
Between
almost 2.1.
Yeah. It'll get there eventually.
Steam has 7 million concurrent users.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They broke their record over the holiday Thanksgiving weekend. That's huge. That definitely proves that PC gaming is not dead.
Yeah, it's definitely not that. And over 65 million registered users.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of PC players out there.
Right. And some of them are double accounts and stuff like that. And, anybody can have a Steam
That's true.
account.
Yeah, that's true.
So that 65 million is one thing, but 7 million concurrent users
at the same time.
is ridiculous if you think about it, because even like World of Warcraft, the top MMO, they said their highest concurrent user count was ever at like 3 point something million.
Wow.
So that's pretty crazy that 7 million people were playing something on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's when they'll have one more at least when I get the Steam machine one day.
there you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Steam machine.
we'll just build you a mini Steam machine.
Yeah, a mini one.
I actually, one of the websites I go to has like a breakdown, I guess every like 3 or 4 months, of gaming PC parts, and like the cheapest is always ends up being like $350.
Damn.
So, and I mean, you've already got the case and a graphics card, so not too bad.
Woo.
This week, this is still news, but I mean, it's kind of a discussion because I want to know what you think about it. But this week, the Edward Snowden documents leaked that NSA actually put spies in popular online games such as World of Warcraft,
Second Life.
Second Life, pretty much any MMO out there, to sniff out terrorists. But the other thing that it said in it is they put so many people in these units that they had to put directives out not to spy on other units.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, from a World of Warcraft point of view, if you follow World of Warcraft news, you've actually known that the government has been in World of Warcraft since probably 2006.
Okay.
This just more so confirmed it.
Okay.
We obviously didn't know
To what
the
extent?
scope
Okay.
that they were putting so many people in there, because like they have the wiretaps, the cameras, the stuffed animals with the tracers and whatever NSA uses, the drones that are going to double as
Santa
package,
Claus.
delivery boys. But I guess they felt like there's this whole gaming space that people can just
Talk.
send each other messages like, hey, want to do this terrorist act? Sure.
Yeah, let's
Invite to group.
it's weird. So you said that people have known about this in World of Warcraft, that the government was in the game?
Yeah, there was something back in, I believe it was 2006, it might have been 2009, where the government basically came out and said, yes, they monitor some things and stuff like that, but Blizzard gives authorization. This whole thing that came out this week has basically been like a big wake-up call, like, no, Blizzard never authorized anything to this scale. Like, if Blizzard or Activision or whoever controls that kind of thing, I would imagine it's still Blizzard, see something suspicious, they would report it, and then obviously at that point they would come in and, I guess follow you or whatever they do.
Hey, can I join your group?
Yeah.
Can I join your raid?
Yeah. So I hear you're down in a building today. What building would that be? Too soon? No. Okay.
Too soon. Yeah, too soon.
Anyway, just want to point out World of Warcraft wasn't out in 2001. Didn't come out till 2004. Back then it would have been EverQuest.
EverQuest, yeah.
So,
that is, I just think it's, I was reading the story and I laughed out loud at least 4 or 5 times.
It seems like that kind of thing. It's just like all the other NSA stuff that it's kind of like, duh.
Yeah.
We've known that they've been spying on us. People are like, oh, they're spying on us this much? If you're not doing anything, what do you care?
Yeah.
People, they have that argument of invasion of privacy and stuff like that. And sure, there's going to be a line that even I'm going to have to draw somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to be like
if they're putting up cameras and, we got the Big Brother thing going on.
Yeah, I mean,
But if I'm running a thing and some government agent's in my party and, I'm like, hey, kill that dude, he's not going to be like, oh, like a terrorist? No. I can guarantee you that most of them probably enjoy their time in the game.
they're loving it, that they're getting paid their...
I wish I got paid government salary to sit in there and, group up with people.
It's interesting. It's definitely an interesting story. I mean, they are, I guess, protecting, And if you're playing your game and enjoying yourself while you're playing the game, does it really matter too much?
Yeah, and I'd actually like to see the statistical data of the success rate of these missions. Like, are there really terrorist groups planning, terrorist activities in the middle of, dungeon runs?
Maybe while they're camping out in those mountains and those caves or whatever, they have some type of internet connection maybe, and that's what they do with their time.
Geothermal internet connection.
Something like that. Something.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, this seems like one of those things that the government did that I'm kind of like, I understand the intent, but the execution, like everything they do, is a little flawed.
Maybe they're thinking that it's too obvious for a cell or something to meet up in person. Maybe doing it digitally is a way to go. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about this when I read the story earlier this week, and there is legitimate concern that this is a whole unpoliced thing, a whole nother side. It's not like chat rooms, it's not like anything like this.
Yeah,
it's something that takes place on a server somewhere. But Blizzard specifically, I don't know about Second Life and any of these other ones, but Blizzard specifically has a lot of metric data that they can pull, and they've actually gone on record and said if there's ever a problem or anything like that, a traditional character problem. They were like, we have all that data. Like, if you say, oh, something dropped and it went to this guy and it should have went to me, they have everything. They have the conversations, they have the log, they have the times, and they can pull that up on a fly.
Wow.
Like, real time. So, this is one of the things that I think they should have went to the company. Like, so,
Yeah.
NSA strikes again.
They would have saved themselves some time, maybe.
All right, so I think that does it for news and all that. So I guess we'll jump right in. No previews because nothing's really coming out.
Nothing really. I've been to Target. I don't know how many times so far, and they don't have Enemy Within.
Amazon,
Or I can download it.
GameStop.
So.
Oh yeah, yeah. The direct download.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna review Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. And
I saw that commercial.
I saw that commercial a lot.
Yeah.
So here's a video while I talk about it. So this game obviously is on the 3DS. Obviously you can't see the 3D effect, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's subtle. Like when you're playing 3D, it still kind of looks like this, but there's a little more depth and stuff like that. Honestly, this is one of the few games on the 3DS where I was able to keep the 3D slider on.
Okay.
And it never annoyed me. Most games
did that with Pokemon. It didn't
right.
You.
Most games, after a while, I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this crap. So turn it off, go back to it, because eventually your eyes start to hurt. So that was one thing I really enjoyed. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds is pretty much a direct sequel to 1991's A Link to a Past.
Okay.
Probably, I'd say it's definitely my favorite of all the Zelda games, and it's definitely one of the more accepted as the best Zelda game, next to Ocarina of Time. Basically, you're playing 6 generations later. You're still obviously Link, but you're a Link later on. There's still obviously a water temple.
Yeah.
So this one actually wasn't that bad. But to start off with, the graphics were good. It's a 3DS game, so it's not going to blow you away. But everything looked really good. I mean, the sprites, the 3D animations, as you see the water, the effects, and all that look, yeah,
it looks pretty nice.
Looks pretty nice for a 3DS game. Explosions, all that. With the 3D, like I said, it was subtle, so it was kind of cool when it did pop up. Like the hearts popping up and stuff. You definitely had like that weight to it and stuff like that. Sound was probably one of my favorite parts of it because it takes, A Link to the Past music and stuff like that. Well, you got some German. You get, the old music that if you've played A Link to the Past, and from there, kind of remixes it a little bit.
Okay.
Because the big thing to this one is you can actually go into 2D space. Which
the commercial shows.
Right. But that is like huge in terms of gameplay because of the fact that you have to start thinking how to solve puzzles because that's the one constant. The other big thing they changed in this game is the traditional Zelda formula is you go to a temple, you make your way through the temple, you get an item, use that item to beat a temple, you go on. You may occasionally use that item again, but most of the time you never do. This one actually gives you the option to have all the items at the beginning. The way it works is there's a shop that actually is conveniently set up at your house. And from there, you can either rent or buy items.
Okay.
If you rent an item, it's yours to use indefinitely till you die. Once you die, yeah.
Okay, there he goes.
Yeah. Once you die, a little bird swoops in, and from there
takes your stuff.
Takes the stuff and goes back, and then you got to re-rent it. If you buy it, it's yours. The other big thing is if you buy it, you can upgrade it if you find some of the hidden stuff. Yeah, there's a good shot of the 2D. So, but that is like a huge game changer because you can theoretically have any item you want for any point. Now you see little things on the ground that indicate the hook shot.
Mhm.
Obviously, certain items are still required for certain dungeons,
Yeah.
but it's not required for all of them. Like the best way I can say is like this is one of the few instances where if you didn't have the hook shot, you wouldn't be able to continue. The nice thing is all the dungeons that require a certain item won't let you into the dungeon without that item.
Okay.
So like this one, to get into the dungeon, you have to have the hook shot to cross the ledge.
Okay.
So they kind of put it there. The downside is if you rented an item and you die in the dungeon, you got to go back and get the item. So definitely makes owning stuff a lot more important.
Mhm.
But I did like that changed how the game was played. Because, honestly, what I did is I basically farmed a whole time, got a bunch of rubies. They got rid of the wallets, so
Okay.
you just carry as many rubies
As you can.
Right. I think I made it up to like 4,000 at one point. So
And then you just bought everything.
right. Stuff is pretty expensive. Like to buy an average item is like 800, and to buy like a couple of the super special items are like 1,000.
Okay.
So yeah, I really like that aspect in terms of like overall gameplay and stuff. It's Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past,
Mm-hmm.
just with those new elements. So I actually really enjoyed all of it. All the dungeons were really laid out. Even the water temple wasn't it was
bad.
hard, but yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Do you think they purposefully make the water temple like a pain in the ass?
Yeah, now they are definitely doing it just to troll people. The story was really good. Like, honestly, out of all the Zelda games, except for Ocarina of Time, this one probably has the best story. Like, there's definitely like a narrative going on. You end up with a different. The big story is you end up in Hyrule to start out with, and then you eventually make your way to a new area called Lorule, which is obviously just like Hyrule, but it's kind of fallen on some bad times. So there's like that whole narrative there. Like you meet Princess Zelda's other half called Hilda. The bad guy Yugo wasn't anything special, but he did his job.
Okay.
Honestly, this is almost a perfect Legend of Zelda game.
Okay.
Like I would probably give this a 10 out of 10.
Okay. 10 out of 10. Nice. Whoa.
And it's the first playthrough is challenging, but it's not anything you're gonna beat your head over. Nah, he's trying the ice rod. Cheater. What you're supposed to do, you're supposed to raise the water up so it gets all the fire out. But I didn't have the ice rod then. So see, he had the ice rod, so it changed how he did the dungeon. So that's kind of cool that you can you see the differences and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 because this is like fundamental Zelda at its purest. So
Very cool.
yep.
Something worth checking out when I eventually get a 3DS.
Yeah, it'll play on a 2DS, so you don't need the
that's right.
3DS. But yeah, I would encourage playing it on a 3DS just because, like I said, the 3D effects were subtle enough that they were cool when they happened. All the boss fights, I have to say, were really, really good. There was really only one boss fight that I was kind of like, this is kind of cheesy. The last boss fight is with Ganon. I don't think that's a spoiler. He's a little different than previous games, but they still do the ping pong thing for a little bit.
The baseball. Usually they also threw you a little curveball when you had to do like 2 of them or something.
Yeah, you go back and forth for a while, and then he like throws you 2 of them, and initially they get to a point where they're like going so fast. I was just hitting the button, and it kept hitting me until I realized that there's like a rhythm to it. So even though they were going fast, it just kind of speeds up the rhythm. And then once I got that was pretty cool. And then the other part of that fight is after you hit him with that, he goes 2D, and then you have to go 2D,
Hmm.
and you have to. That's almost like a puzzle itself, in which I don't want to give out how you solve some of it, but as you're 2D, you get to use a bow, and like if you just try to shoot him with the bow, he'll like block it, or other stuff like that'll happen. So you got to like think, if I shoot here, can I run around and shoot him, or if I put something here, will it pull him out? Because once he's in the wall, nothing you put outside the wall really affects him. You got to figure out where to aim the bow and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So that fight, rather than being just like a brawl, is more like a
thinker's thinking quote.
And then the ending's really good. There's a little twist in there that I kind of saw coming by the end of it, but it's still kind of cool that it happened. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, if you like Legend of Zelda, you have to play this one.
I like that commercial, so I think I should play it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it enough.
Yep.
So how could you not like it?
Zelda, A Link Between Worlds.
No real deal of the week this week. I looked around. There wasn't any like huge deals other than Borderlands 2 is free on PlayStation Plus. So maybe next week. I know Target's running like $10 off a lot of popular games, like Call of Duty Ghosts is $10 off.
Did you know that there was Call of Duty toys?
Yeah, I saw that, the Mega Bloks.
That bothers me.
No, the best is there's a Reddit post that says, "Wow, Call of Duty really knows its audience."
Exactly. That's what I posted something on Twitter, and I was like, I thought this was marketed to mature audiences.
No.
So I mean, like, that's another discussion topic.
Yeah. Well, that'll be next week. Call of Duty toys.
Yeah,
So
that bothered me.
all right, we'll do the closing, then we'll do our football picks, and then we'll do some Starbound for a while.
Oh yeah.
Until probably about 10 o'clock, and then we'll do the Victoria's Secrets fashion show. No, we won't be wearing it. We'll be watching.
We'll be judging it.
Yes, judging it.
Gamers Digest is a Spider One and Mr. Factastic production. All characters and games are owned by their respective companies and are used under the Fair Use Law. Check out Gamers Digest at gamersdigest.me, on YouTube under Gamers Digest Podcast, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at The Gamers Digest. Viewer questions and comments can always be sent to gamersdigestpodcast@gmail.com. See you next week.